A small handful of TSN's top-ranked free agents remain unsigned, most notably Alex Pietrangelo and Taylor Hall. But one big name is off the board in Torey Krug, signing in St. Louis. What do you make of the move for the Blues, and what does this likely mean for Pietrangelo?
Surprise is for sure the word that comes to mind. I thought that they would at least wait for Alex Pietrangelo. And of all the places where Torey Krug could have landed, I did not anticipate St. Louis being one of them. But for St. Louis, it says we're ready to move on, and we had to move on from Alex Pietrangelo because they did not have the confidence that Pietrangelo would be coming back. They didn't want to wait and take that risk where they would be without a high-end defenseman when there was another one available, another one that wanted to sign and wanted to commit to the organization. So a bold move, a preemptive strike, if you will, from St. Louis. And for Pietrangelo, it says, well, if you thought St. Louis is in your back pocket, it no longer is. If you thought Toronto is in your back pocket, it might not likely be with TJ Brodie signing there. So you start looking at what teams have the cap space, the need, and the quality of team for Alex Pietrangelo to sign with, and you're not left with many options. Maybe Boston, maybe Vegas. I think Vegas is probably the front runner, but Vegas has to do work to get to a spot where they can acquire and pay Alex Pietrangelo what he needs. So an interesting dynamic there with St. Louis making the first strike and leaving Alex Pietrangelo without one of his go-to options.
And MJ, let's get to that team that you alluded to, because it was believed that the Leafs were very much in on the Pietrangelo sweepstakes when the frenzy began. But Friday evening, they shifted gears, signing TJ Brodie on the blue line. They also added Wayne Simmonds earlier in the day up front. Do you like what Kyle Dubas has done so far?
I do. Kyle Dubas addressed needs for their team. The primary need, of course, is right side defenseman. They lost two in Tyson Barrie and Cody Ceci. They wanted to upgrade a defensive stalwart, a guy who could play on the number one pair, ideally, pairing up with Morgan Rielly. And they went out and got one of the best ones available on the free agent market, TJ Brodie. Yes, he's a left shot, but he's played on the right side for a really long time. And while he has put up good points, at this point, he's almost better as a defensive defenseman. Shot suppression, chance suppression, does not give up very much. Exactly what Toronto has been looking for to pair up with Morgan Rielly, a guy who wants to go get it, with a guy who can stop guys from coming back the other way. Seems like a really good fit. I like the contract, I like the term, and I like the player. Kyle Dubas also said we want to get a little tougher to play against. Well, Wayne Simmonds certainly brings that. A physical player, a character player, signing to a nice short-term deal with not a lot of money there. A hometown guy, something I know all about playing for Toronto, how much that will mean to him late in his career. I think the dressing room and the guys will be better for having him around on the ice, but maybe almost as importantly off the ice for all the things he can bring to that dressing room.
MJ, as always, great insights. Thanks for this. So here's a look at the amount of free agent signings so far. 63 players signed contracts for 108 total years. The 31 teams spent over $230 million amongst the players signed thus far as day one of free agent frenzy.